Thank you all for coming. I would love to read this petition to be received by the representative of His Excellency, the President, Adama Barrow. I read as follows. His Excellency Adama Barrow, President of the Republic of the Gambia State House, Banjul. Dear Sir, the victim community petition to government demanding justice for human rights violations committed by the former Jammeh regime. Under the 22 years rule of Yahya Jammeh, reports of human rights violations and abuses were rife and characterized in the form of killings, enforced disappearances, sexual violence, arbitrary arrests and detention, indiscriminate and illegal use of force, acts of torture, cruel, inhuman, or degrading treatment, among others, meted out on Gambians and non-Gambians. Under his rule, the enjoyment and exercise of rights and freedoms, including freedom of expression, association, and assembly, were curtailed and crushed. A number of ordinary citizens, members of civil society, including journalists, as well as government officials, were abducted, arrested illegally detained and imprisoned. Intimidation was used to suppress dissent and preserve the president's grip on power. Other human rights violations concerns including corruption and embezzlement of public funds, land or property expropriation, forced labor and fake HIV treatment that resulted to some deaths and other complications among people living with HIV/AIDS. While we appreciate the support of the international community and recognize the steps taken by government in addressing these violations through the setting up of national transitional justice process, such as the Truth, Reconciliation, Reparation Commission and the governance reforms agenda. However, the continued presence of Jammeh's enablers and alleged perpetrators in the civil service and security sector form a major concern to victims. In addition, the victims' community highly welcome the statement made by the Honorable Attorney General and the Minister of Justice at the opening of the 2020 legal year. In this statement, the Honorable Minister has assured victims that if Yahya Jammeh ever comes back to this country, he will face immediate arrest and charges of the most serious kind. And no amount of irresponsible talk, I repeat, no amount of irresponsible talk, idle talk, or political brinkmanship will prevent this from happening. He will be subjected to an accountability process like any ordinary accused person in this country. The Minister has further assured the victims that it can no longer be ruled out that the crimes against humanity have been committed in the Gambia between July 1994 and January 2017. Under former President Jammeh, and those who will be identified by the TRRC will face certain prosecution in the most serious form. The ongoing testimonies emerging from the TRRC is a clear manifestation that gross human rights violation indeed occurred during the Jammeh era. However, revelations continue to traumatize the victims as they come to terms with the realities meted out on their loved ones. Victims continue to raise concerns that despite the various testimonies by both victims and perpetrators alike, there still exists a section of our society that is in blatant denial of the atrocities committed by former president to the extent of demanding for his return as an ordinary citizen, which is a mockery and provocation to victims. This provocation can incite violence and jeopardize the ongoing investigation of the TRRC and negatively impact on the reconciliation and healing process. It is against this background that the victims' community and CSOs are demanding the following. 1, the Gambia government to impose a ban or suspend the APRC party until the ongoing TRRC is concluded. 2, the Gambia government should condemn any threats towards victims and take appropriate legal measures for remedy. 3, the Gambia government should ensure that ex-President Yahya Jammeh faces immediate arrest and prosecution wherever he steps foot in this country. 4, the Gambia government should continue to consult with victims in decision-making on issues that affect them and provide regular updates on all matters affecting them. 5, that's the last one, the Gambia government should start immediate consultations with regional and international partners for support and assistance to bring Jammeh to justice. On behalf of all victims, we look forward to due consideration of our demands. Yours sincerely, signed, Mr. Sheriff Mohammed Kijera, Chairman, Board of Directors, Gambia Center for Victims of Human Rights Violations. CC to the following, copy to the following institutions, government agencies, international human rights organizations across the world. The National Assembly of the Gambia, Attorney General and the Minister of Justice, ECOWAS Commission in the Gambia, African Union Commission in the Gambia, UN Resident Coordinator, UN Peacebuilding Office, UN Transitional Justice, International Criminal Court at The Hague, European Union Delegation, Senegalese High Commission, Nigeria High Commission, US Embassy, British High Commission, Gambian National Human Rights Commission, African Commission on Human and People's Rights, International Coalition for Sites of Conscience, National Endowment for Democracy, Open Society Initiative for West Africa, OSIWA, Article 19 West Africa, Amnesty International, African Legal Aid, Institute of Human Rights and Development in Africa, Truth, Reconciliation and Reparation Commission, Human Rights Watch, Coalition for Change the Gambia, the Association of Non-Governmental Organizations, TANGO, Gambia Press Union, Jammeh to Justice, Honorary Consulate of Ghana. Thank you all for your kind attention. Thank you, Honorable Ibrahim G. Sankare, for being here with us today to represent the President to officially receive a petition signed by the Gambia Center for Victims of Human Rights Violations. I'm sure the President will give due consideration to the content of the petition. Once again, thank you for coming. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sankare, for coming, and thank you for speaking to the victims. We've seen other demonstrations where they handed over petitions to the government, but the receiver never said anything. But Mr. Sankare, being a victim, is part of us, and he has agreed to speak, and we really appreciate this. So for the members of the media, we have copies of the petition with Lamin Jai. Lamin! Okay, please take copies so that you quote exactly what we've presented to the government. Thank you very much. Alabarka, mol kontanta.